right, race fans. Welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans. Welcome to California. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series heads to sunny California for a 90-lap race. It's race number 8 of the season, and this season is winding down in a hurry. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory here in sunny California? There's only one way to find out, and that is hang out right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, a very tough track headed your way here tonight. California, it's tough on tires and tough on nerves. It's race number 8, and it's the Buschwackers Series here live on TurnLeftTV. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here tonight. We got a good one here for you. As always, it's the Buschwackers Series. And it is California. Again, thanks for coming in here tonight. I'm your broadcaster commentator, Heath Johnson, and this is a 90-lap race here tonight. Just 3 races to go, including tonight. California could be a big one, man. Make or break. We got a tight points battle. And Cali is a tough track. And I'm excited for tonight. And thanks so much for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, please give EliteHostingUSA.com a look. Perfect for rFactor 2. 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. Not only that, but also your website and the online store as well. If you're interested in an online store, you can host that through EliteHostingUSA.com. Thanks for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Appreciate you being here. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody's behaving themselves. It's going to be -6 Fahrenheit wind chill tomorrow. What is the deal? I thought we were going into spring here. I'm freaking out right now. I thought we were done with winter, but I guess not. It's hitting us back just when we were ready to walk away from it. It's just smacking us across the face. And not going to be a fun one tomorrow, that's for sure. But we'll work our way into summer and have a nice sunny summer coming up, hopefully spring and then summer, of course. But hey, thanks so much for coming in here and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you were here. I definitely look at that. And then also, please go down to the description of this race and follow those links up to the Fanatec website. Hurry up, man. I got a message today. There's going to be some prices for some of those items going up. So get your orders in while you can. Thanks to all those folks who have done so. I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. You'll get updates when we're going live. And then if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, there's a link right up in the banner of the channel, or you can click on the link down in the description of this race. More than welcome to share my videos with all your friends, and we've got some great ones here for you on TurnLeftTV. We've got a busy weekend of racing ahead, and again, thanks so much for joining us. Always appreciate guys coming in here, and young ladies coming in here as well, watching the videos here on TurnLeftTV. And again, thanks so much for supporting me here at TurnLeftTV. I greatly appreciate that. Well, this is California. We call it Apple Valley in the game. We're a 2-mile track located in Fontana, California. Banking in the turns at 14 degrees. Just a little bit of banking there to make it interesting. Down the front stretch at 11 degrees, and the back stretch at 3 degrees. And there's a lot of room to race here, man. A lot of lines, but it is tough on tires. And as this run goes on, this car is going to get loose. So you're going to have to figure out and adjust your racing style accordingly. And that brings us to the keys to the race here tonight. Tires, man. Save those tires. If you do, you're going to love it later in the run. And then find the lane to run with. And that means being able to adjust as the race goes on and the track changes. As I got that down at the bottom there, you're going to have to find the lane that works for you. Too wide discipline. There's going to be a lot of too wide racing here tonight. So you're going to have to be disciplined, man. Hold your lane and then be patient through the turns. You don't want to have to do those evasive moves to try to avoid folks. Pit stops on point, as I talk about a lot here, but this is tough to pit here. And you got to get on and off pit lane. I suspect we're going to have some big like pit stops here tonight. On and off pit lane smoothly. And you may see 2 tire stops here tonight. You never know. Keep up with the track. As the track changes here, starts to rubber in, it's going to get a little bit slicker, and you have to keep up with those changes. You can't change anything other than track bar. And then, whether you take 2 or 4 tires, that's really it. And then, of course, your driving style. So you're going to use those 3 things there to kind of keep up with the changes of the track, adjust your driving style, and maybe a little bit lighter fuel load there late in the run, too. Who knows? Or late in the race. So those are my keys to the race here tonight. Well, headed your way this weekend, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got Phoenix headed your way in the Saturday Showdown Series, race number 4, 140 laps from a great track, Phoenix Raceway. And that'll be a fun one in that series, man. That Saturday Showdown Series has been a blast. And I imagine there's going to be some fantastic driving out here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Of course, it'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. That's the Saturday Showdown Series at Phoenix. Forget to join us over at highoctaneracing.net for current point standings, also schedule changes, updated schedules, also what guys are running throughout the week. You can do that rFactor 2 times to see what guys are running to get you up to speed there. And then a quick link to TurnLeftTV. And also, if you'd like to contact us, you can join us through Discord, a quick link there. And then, of course, hit that contact button and send us an email. Let us know you may be interested in racing. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers series. Of course, tonight we're at California, 90-lap race. We got a couple great tracks headed your way to finish out the season. Richmond, 150 laps are on March the 18th. That's coming up next week. And then we're going to finish out the season at Kansas. Great mile-and-a-half track. They're a 100-lap race on March 25th to crown the champion here in the Buschwackers series. Guys out here making their qualification attempt. We're in the qualification session right now. Take a look at Tim Lansberg. His qualification attempt in this 82 car. All brown with the top time with a 40.727, so that's the time to beat. Robillard second on the grid. Thiago Gomez, good qualification tip there for him so far. He's in the 3rd position. I'm dropping down a little bit as Tim Lansberg with that time, 40.914, the 82 car. Now 3rd on the grid. Archie Vieira in the 4 car. Let's see what his qualification temp looks like. So 40.727 is the time to beat Archie Vieira with his first lap. .755 second on the grid for Archie Vieira. Great qualification run there for him. Got Preston Hassel in the 27 car. Preston looks like he's finished up his qualification attempt, I believe. 7th on the grid. And Palumbo in the 54 car in his outlap. Top time 40.727. Palumbo in this mellow yellow sponsor machine. He says the other paint scheme is bad luck. That's the one I painted for it. Hey, wait a minute. 54 with his first time lap. Palumbo in the 54 car. Here's that first lap. 40.716 to the top of the grid for the 54. I guess that is good luck for him. How about that, huh? Claudio Bardelli Jr. with his qualification attempt. This 91 car. Palumbo the top time now. Bardelli Jr. with a 40.964, 7th on the grid for the 91 car. Givaldo Spindola with his second lap here in this 68 car. Trying to improve on that 40.939. And his second lap time is a 40 flat for Givaldo. He's currently 8th on the grid. Don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder headed your way tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Qualification start in a great Cup Series, race number 6 of the season, and it is Phoenix. We call this Beat the Broadcaster night. This is when I get out of the broadcast booth, get in the car, and mix it up with the boys. Best in the business out here, and I'd like to see how I stack up against these guys and maybe try to earn a little bit of respect. So it's a lot of fun. I have a blast racing alongside many of the guys that are out here tonight. So 140 laps from Phoenix coming your way tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder. Again, we'll look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers series. Of course, California tonight, Richmond next week, and then Kansas to finish out the season. And it's been a great season, man. We had the Busted Knuckles 125, the inaugural race there on February the 25th, and that was a fantastic one, man. Thanks to all those folks who participated in that race. We included that as a little bit longer race, but our tribute race to Lawrence Stopforth. A little bit longer race, but a regular point series race, and it was a fun one. Getting some chatters in here. It's just Givaldo. He's in here racing tonight, of course. And, always enjoy Givaldo coming in here, wishing everybody a good luck and good evening. And then, of course, special to me, I love Givaldo, man. He's a great guy, and always appreciate him and his friendship. He's really one of the nicest guys out there on the track, and there is no doubt. I'm not just saying that, man. I mean, this guy is generally a really, really nice guy. So good to see him out here tonight, and best of luck to Givaldo. Well, who got the big win last week? That was Lucas Simpner. He got the big win. It was a green-white checker, and there was some shenanigans on that last lap. Paul Brown in the wall, and Lucas Simpner outlasting Tim Lansberg, and that was close, man. The yellow flag came out, field is frozen, and the 21 car gets the win at Vegas. Let's take a look at the session results. Take a look at the qualification results. Ed Palumbo in the 54 starts on the pole there. Congratulations to that Mellow Yellow crew. Paul Brown starts in the second position. Archie Vieira will start third. Tiago Gomez, great qualification run for him. That 9X starts in fourth. Claudio Bardella Jr. in the 91 starts fifth. Tim Lansberg in the 82 starts in the sixth position. Todd Robillard will start seventh. Givaldo Spindola starts in the eighth position. Kent Thomas in the 4X starts in ninth. Starting in the 10th position is Preston Hassel in the 27 car. Starting in the 11th position is Zach Casey in the 29. Gilmar Peixoto in the 3X starts in the 12th position. John Stanley starts 13th. And Tony Furtado will start 14th. I want to say thank you so much for coming here and joining me on Turn Left TV. Appreciate you being here tonight. We're about ready to get this party started. Thanks for coming in. All right, hey, thank you so much for coming in here to Turn Left TV. This is California Speedway tonight. 2-mile. I don't think you want to call this a high banked oval. 14 degrees of banking. D-shaped 2-mile oval. 90 laps here tonight. Race number 8 of 10. And we got a tight points battle coming into tonight's race. I'm your broadcaster, your host. I'm sure to say a hotcaster. I don't even know what that is. Broadcaster, host, commentator, Heath Johnson. Thanks so much for joining us, and we're going to have a good one here tonight. Take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Tight points battle. Preston Hassel has the points lead. Sean Jacobs not here. He's watching his son play college baseball, so going to be missing here for a few weeks. Tim Lansberg comes in third in points. Claudio Bardelli Jr. fourth. Ed Palumbo is fifth in points coming into tonight's race. Christian Wilson sixth. Jamaldo Spindola comes in seventh position. Paul Brown eighth. John Stanley ninth. Todd Robillard comes in tonight in the 10th position. Take a look at 11th through 20th. Mark Guetta, Lucas Simpler, Jesus Iglesias, Gary Madu, Tiago Gomez rounding at that top 15. Willis, Peixoto, Hughes, Thomas, and Marizon rounding out the top 20. Take a look on board here with Todd Robillard as he makes a pit stop to get an idea of what it's like to pit this place. And again, it is pretty slick here. We've got a little bit of room to move, but it can be tough under race conditions to make a pit stop. There is Todd Robillard showing us how it's done. That 90 car. A little under 3 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Don't forget the Saturday Showdown Series headed your way at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It'll be live right here on TurnLeft TV. It's race number 4 of the season, and it is Phoenix. 140-lap race there. And a great, great series. Very competitive series. And Phoenix is going to be a fun one, man. Very different than some of the tracks that are the rest of the tracks that are on the schedule. So take a look at the schedule in the Showdown Series. See Phoenix race number 4. Then we got a road course headed your way next week. Richmond, a little short track action. Homestead, Miami, and then Riverside, another road course. So very different tracks here in the next 5 races, including tomorrow. It is a fun series. Again, thanks for coming in and joining me on TurnLeft TV. Who's going to win tonight? Who is going to win? Pick your winners here tonight. I'm going to pick mine. Who I think is going to win this race? Let's see. My pick tonight. pick to win this race. I'm wishing everybody good luck, and thinking about our friends, our Russian and Ukrainian friends who raced with us. Definitely thinking about those folks. My pick tonight is Paul Brown to win this race as we get ready to go green. So we are getting ready to get the command to start the engines here at California. So it's Cali tonight. 90-lap race. Race number 8 of the season, and this could be a big one. A points changer here tonight. So California, a very, very fun track, and this is going to be a fun race to broadcast. Thanks for coming out. Here we go, boys and girls.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the starting order here tonight. The starting order at Palumbo in the 54 will start in first. Paul Brown starts in the second position. Archie Vieira will start third. Tiago Gomez in the 9X starts in the fourth position. Starting in fifth will be Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91. The 82, Tim Lansberg, starts in sixth. Todd Robillard in the 90 car starts in the seventh position. In eighth is Givaldo Spindola. Kit Thomas in the 4X machine starts in ninth. 27, Preston Hassel starts in the 10th position. Zachman Casey will start 11th. Gilmar Peixoto starts in the 12th position. In 13th will be John Stanley in the 12 car. And the 9, the Valvoline sponsor machine. The number 9 of Tony Furtado starts in 14th. So these starts and restarts are always a little dicey here. Not too wide, but a lot of lane changing, dive bombing, that type of thing. So we're trying to get clear of that or stay clear of that and have a good, solid, caution-free race here tonight. Oh, no. Did I say it? I think I did. And Palumbo in the 54 will lead the field to take the green flag. The 77, Paul Brown, starts on the outside line. Lights are out on the pace car. The pace car is off. Here we go. It's Cali, baby. Nine car, 9X gives that 77 a little bit of shot there on the outside. Down the backstretch. Tony Furtado off the pace, said he was started in first gear. My God. Now he's off the pace there, so he's doing some catch up. He's going to need a caution flag as Ed Palumbo clears Out to the race lead to 77, now in second. Cleared of Tiago Gomez. We'll take a look at Tiago Gomez in that 9X machine, the 91. Claudio Bardelli Jr. running with him. We got a crew there on that bottom lane, and that is Todd Robillard and Archie Vieta down on the bottom line. Tim Lansberg in the 82 is the 4. Archie Vieta drifts up there in front of that 82 car. Looking out of the back of Archie Vieta's machine at Tim Lansberg in the 82. Lansberg running in the 6th position. Todd Robillard in the 90 running in 7th. Archie Vieta running in the 5th position. We got a good battle here between Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Tiago Gomez. Bardelli Jr. making that pass, now taking over the 3rd position. Lead so far here, everybody behaving themselves. Everybody behaving a little bit. Get Thomas up on the outside line. They're battling with Gilmar Peixoto. Got 3X machine. Gilmar in that 3X. He's trying to make some moves here. Staying behind Kent Thomas right now and drifting up the track just a little bit. Maybe saving those tires by using that outside line. Take a look here. Zach Casey down to the inside. Getting by the 27. Preston Hassel. So Zach Casey making a pass. Picking up a spot. Claudio Bardelli Jr. here. He's looking to make some passes. He's down on the inside with Tiago Gomez. These guys using this inside line here, battling the front 2. 54, Ed Palumbo up on the high line. He's going to try to put a little block there on the 91. Claudio Bardelli Jr., Tiago Gomez trying to make a run on the bottom line. So we got a 3-car pack up on the outside line with Archie Vieta there, that 3rd car on the outside line. The 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. battling the 54. Ed Palumbo side by side. Bardelli Jr. has to hold off there and now claims the 2nd position. So Paul Brown now back to 4th. Looking to try to get back up in the 3rd spot here. Take a look here now as he is on the bottom line battling Tiago Gomez. Great battling here early on. Paul Brown on the outside, or excuse me, inside line here now. Good side-by-side battle there with Ed Palumbo and Claudio Bardelli Jr. Gonna have a 3-way battle here before it's over with. Bardelli Jr. up on the outside line, this 91 car. These guys racing pretty hard here early on. I am scared. I am scared as the 77 dives down to the bottom line here. Is going to try to help that 54 car. Paul Brown using his inside line, and with Bardelli Jr. holding his own. You see Bardelli Jr. just ahead up on that outside line. He's going to dive in front of the 77 car. Valdo Spindola in the 68 having a good run here so far. He's running in the 6th position. 82 Tim Lansberg behind him. The 90 Todd Robillard also back there. He's running in the 8th position. A little 3-car battle here as the 68 having a good run, running in the 6th position. Archie Vieta here making some moves. Oh, we had some contact there. Gomez down to the inside. He got in the back of Bardelli Jr. He's down on the apron. As Vieta gets by, Tiago Gomez doing what he can to hold on to that thing. Holy smokes, did you see that? Gomez got into the back of Bardelli Jr. Let's take a look at this. Got into the back of Bardelli Jr., broke that car loose, almost got Bardelli Jr. sideways. He was holding on, lifted the back end of that car up off the ground, and the 9X holding on, but he loses some position. We got a battle here. Ed Palumbo and Claudio Bardelli Jr. battling. Bardelli Jr. the 91, 54 up on the high side. Bardelli Jr. is showing some muscle here on the bottom line. No help there. You got a 3-car battle up on the outside, and Bardelli Jr. uses some muscle here to get by that 54 car. Ed Palumbo in the 54. He's going to try to go to the outside line, see what he can do here side by side with Bardelli Jr. He and Paul Brown now working together. Bardelli Jr. is going to need some help there if he's going to hope to hold on to that position. John Stanley in the 12 car. Oh, up in the wall. Oh, John Stanley gets into the wall. It's down on the apron. Up into the wall, and wow. Oh, my heavens, man. Did you see that? John Stanley got up in the wall, got down into the grass. Oh, my heavens. Let's take a look and see what happened to John Stanley. Got up into the wall right there, and hard lit. Ken Thomas followed him, but John does a great job of keeping that thing pointed in the right direction. Gilmore goes by. Oh, my heavens. Peixoto, he does a great job of missing as he gets into the wall, too. Got all kinds of cars slamming the wall. Must be some oil on the track there as that elite hosting sponsor number 3X gets by. John Stanley definitely going to have some right side damage to that car. You see the 77 going down to the bottom line here. He's going to try to take the lead. So Paul Brown in the 77 car getting by that 54. Oh, the 54 going to make a little bit of a blast out of this. Side by side with the 77 and the 54. These guys usually work together, but right now they're battling for the race lead. Claudio Bardelli Jr. trying to figure out who he wants to go with. Great side-by-side racing here. Paul Brown had to work for that 77 car. He's going to get crossed over there by the 54. 54 giving him a little bit of a shot there. This 90 of Todd Robillard and the 82 Tim Lansberg here working together on the bottom line, trying to get by that 68 Givaldo Spindola. Spindola up on the high line as a 90. Todd Robillard here battling Tim Lansberg. They're side-by-side now. He backs off and lets Lansberg have that spot, but they pick up a spot there. Had to use some help to get by that 68 car. 68 showing some muscle here tonight. He's now running in the 8th position. And Palumbo is not wanting to follow this 77 car. He's down to the inside line. He says, hey, I want to lead. I'm here to win this race. 54, Mellow Yellow sponsored machine now getting back by that 77. Been caution free, but this has been an entertaining race. Tell you what, Tim Lansberg, or excuse me, Tony Furtado here is going to need some help to get caught back up in this field, this 9 car. He got started in first gear, fell back, and I don't know whether he's damaged that motor, but something's up with that 9 car, and he is off the pacer a little bit, running in the 14th position. That Valvoline sponsor machine. Claudio Bardelli Jr. down to the bottom side here, battling the 77. We have had a great 4-way battle up front. Argentina's got a bird's eye view of this. Ringside seat, if you will, on board here with Argentina as he's got a head of steam getting into the back of the 91 of Claudio Bardelli Jr. Gives him a little bit of a shove. Bardelli Jr. to the inside of the 77. That's for the 2nd position. Great running here. 4-way battle for the race lead. Of our Brazilian guys running in P3, P4. Great battling here. Let's take a look at Tim Lansberg here in the 82 car. He is running in the 6th position. Todd Robillard running in 7th. We've been caution-free 15 laps in. This has been a busy 15 laps, that's for sure. Like Robillard going down to the inside line like he wants to get by, not able to pull off that pass. He has to back off as Lansberg used that middle line. A lot of room to race here at California, but as these tires start to wear out, the track's going to narrow, as John Stanley has already found out. Take a look at Zach Buncasey. He and Preston Hassel here having a good battle. Casey running in the 11th position, trying to crack into that top 10, battling the 27. Preston Hassel, who's in 10th, side by side. Here, that's Toyota now trying to take over P10. Side by side with Preston Hassel and that AMD Ryzen Ford Mustang. Casey now takes over the 10th position as Preston Hassel drops back to the 11th spot. On board here with Zach Casey. He completes that pass. Ed Palumbo leading the field. These guys kind of got it sorted out here for the time being. Palumbo, Brown, Bardelli Jr., Vieira, the top four, nose to tail. I'm going to start thinking about pit stops here pretty soon. It is 2X tires. Say 2X fuel. I apologize for that. Cole Morgan joining us in the track. Well, there's a blast from the past. How about that? Cole Morgan here joining us, saying he's wanting to come back and race with us. Very entertaining. Definitely love to see you come back here and race with us, Cole. Definitely want to see you back out on the track. Great race car driver. Definitely have that car up front, no time flat. Shaking off the cobwebs. Starting to see some guys coming down pit lane here, so Kent Thomas indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. Keep your eye on Kent Thomas. He's going to be making a pit stop here in this 4X machine. Tony Furtado on pit lane. First of our cars to come down pit lane, the 4X. He's going to make a pit stop here. So Kent Thomas, Preston Hassel going to come down pit lane with him. So the 27 car following the 4X on the pit lane. Gilmar Peixoto also coming down pit lane. Ed Palumbo on pit lane, this 54 car. Paul Brown out leading some laps here. Side-by-side view here as Ed Palumbo on pit lane. It's like the 77 is going to give up the race lead to come down pit lane. That's going to give the race lead to 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. He and Archie Vieira nose to tail there, running 1-2. Ed Palumbo finishing up his pit stop. Coming back out on track as we see that 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr., our race leader, here on lap 20. Suggest to you that I think these guys are going to be coming down pit lane here fairly soon. Ed Palumbo finishing up his pit stop, still on the lead lap. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. The 91 and the 4 still have to make pit stops. Looks like they are going to be coming down pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr. giving up the race lead to come down pit lane. Archie Vieira following him down pit lane. It's the 4 car making a pit stop here on lap 21. Todd Robillard in the 90 in this Freightliner sponsor machine. He's also on pit lane. Lansberg on pit lane as well. Paul Brown, the race leader in this 77 car, I believe, once it all shakes out. The 77 will be back in the race lead. The 91 finishing up his pit stop. You see Todd Robillard in the 90 car. Coming back out on track. Paul Brown, the race leader in that 77. Ed Palumbo is in second. Bardelli Jr. in the 3rd position. So it's these pit stops. Vieira's had a bad pit stop here. He has lost a lot of time. He's now 5 seconds back. He was running with the race leader. So on and off pit lane, not great for Archie Vieira. Now shows himself in the 4th position, 5 seconds down to the race leader. Remember, Brown, Palumbo, Bardelli Jr., and Vieira, all 1 through 4 were running together nose to tail, and Vieira's had some problems coming down pit lane. That's how important it can be getting on and off pit lane. Robillard now within striking distance of P4. He's running in the 5th position in the 90 car. Paul Brown the leader, the 77. This guy does not make a lot of mistakes. Field kind of strung out here. We've been caution free. Santiago Gomez going by in that 9X machine. Great battle there, three-way battle there. Take a look at John Stanley, Gilmar Peixoto, and Givaldo Spindola all battling here. John Stanley had some trouble there, had some damage he had to get fixed, right side damage. Gilmar Peixoto just ahead of him, Givaldo Spindola just behind as we're on board here with John Stanley as Givaldo now looking on the low side. Take a look out of John Stanley's machine at Givaldo Spindola in this 68 car, and he's looking to try to make a pass here on the 12. Good three-way battle here. Well, John Stanley up on the high side is Givaldo trying to pull off this pass on the inside. Great battling here. Givaldo gets onto the apron there. He's drifting up the track. Almost gets into the 12. He touched the apron and almost got into the 12. He scrubbed off a little bit of speed, held onto the wheel, and prayed a little bit. And, stayed out of the side of the 12 car. Gilmar Peixoto leading this train here of his 3 cars. He's running in the 11th position. John Stanley 12. Givaldo Spindola is 13. Tim Lansberg, he's had a tough battle here on pit lane. He is running in the 14th position. Not sure what the deal was with Tim Lansberg, but he lost a ton of positions on pit lane. So this 82 car now playing some catch up. He's 29 seconds back to the race lead, running in P14. Oh my heavens. 12 car here. John Stanley crossing the start-finish line, heading into turn 1. He's going to try and take a position away from Gilmar Peixoto. He takes over the 11th position. Peixoto now back to 12. John Stanley here trying to recover after making contact with the wall on that first run. Here 26 laps in. He's now in the 11th position. Paul Brown, the 77, continuing to open up the lead there. He is now almost a second lead over Paul Brown. Bardella Jr. is in 3rd, Vieta 4th. Rounding out the top 5 is Todd Robillard in the 90. Preston Hassel and the 12 of John Stanley. 12 got by Preston Hassel. Hassel's having some handling issues. Maybe you just did a 2-tire stop or whatever it is. This 27 car, he's got a handful right now. 68, Givaldo Spindola to the inside. He's going to try to get by. John Stanley got by. Givaldo making some moves here. He got by Gilmar Peixoto and John Stanley, the 68, Givaldo Spindola now getting by Preston Hassel, taking over the 11th position. Preston Hassel has a little bit of a handful right now in that AMD-sponsored Ryzen Mustang. Gilmar Peixoto in the 3X. Maybe Preston just did a 2-tire stop, and it's not working out very well for him. The 3X down to the inside is going to get by this 27 car. And I have not seen contact for the 27, so I don't think he's got damage, but a good battle here between the 3X and the 27. Todd Robillard's run down this 4 car. 4 car is going to give him a lot of room, and now Todd Robillard, Freightliner sponsored Camaro, now in 4th. '91 and the 54 here battling. Good side-by-side battle here. This is for the 2nd position as the 54 of Ed Palumbo, Mellow Yellow sponsor machine, trying to hold off a charge by the 91. Bardelli Jr.'s run him down, and they're side-by-side here coming off the turn down the backstretch. Bardelli Jr. pulls off that pass. Now has that position on Ed Palumbo. Well, Bardelli Jr. now back to the second position, so maybe saving those tires a little bit. 91 sets his sights on P1. He's got some work to do. About a 2.5 second gap between he and P1. Take a look at Zach Casey here in the 29 car. Continuing quietly moving that car up the grid. He's now in the seventh position. So Toyota's in the field here tonight. Thiago Gomez in the 9X and the 29 of Zach Casey, the only two Toyotas. Casey in the 7th position. Thiago Gomez, haven't talked too much about him. He's running in the 6th position. It's 9X, so the Toyotas there running in P6, P7. 60 laps to go. Caution free, 31 laps in. As Gomez got a little bit of work to do, about 6 second gap between he and P5, Arguviera. Preston Hassel here trying to get, oh no, Gilmar Peixoto. He's had some issues, he's back in the wall. Peixoto's in the wall in that 3X machine. Preston Hassel gets by. What happened to Gilmar? We'll see what happened to Gilmar here in this 3X machine. Take a look and see what happened to him. And he gets up the track as let's take a look at the 27. We'll take a look at Gilmar as he's up in the wall right there. Look at Gilmar, that 3X, hard contact. Holy smokes. That transpired a little bit earlier, really. Gilmar, a little bit of a replay here. Gilmar drifted up the track, and he's just going to run out of room, I believe. We saw that in that first run. This thing sort of gets nasty. Nasty tight coming off the turn. Take a look at this 3X machine. You kind of see what happened to him, and he had some trouble. Let's see, he's starting to work this thing a little bit. This car's starting to jump around and getting a little dicey for him. 3X, we saw him get into the wall. Here's where he runs out of room. Right there, smacks the wall, hard contact. He does a great job of holding on to that. And the wall kind of saved him, I think, from spinning around. He's going to have some pretty significant damage. Take a look at the 82, Tim Lansberg, as he makes a pass on Preston Hassel. So Tim Lansberg now picking up a position. He's had a tough night here, having some trouble on pit lane, and now playing some catch up. Take a look at the 77. 2.5 second lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. Ed Palumbo is in third. Robillard up to the 4th position. Deanna is in 5th. John Stanley and Kent Thomas here battling it out. John Stanley in the 12 car to the inside. Getting by Kent Thomas in that 4X machine. Kent Thomas says, hey, I want to try to get that spot back. He's trying it again, and they're side by side here as Stanley trying to hold on. Using the outside line as Kent Thomas has to back out of the throttle on the inside line. And John Stanley gets into the wall. Contact from the 12 car. He's going to need a staple gun to put the fender back on that thing. Got Tony Furtado coming down pit lane. 9 car. Valvoline sponsored machine. He's made his pit stop coming back out on track. So early pit stop for Tony Furtado in this Valvoline sponsored Chevy Camaro. Off sequence a little bit maybe. We're starting to maybe see some green flag pit stops again. Kent Thomas indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. Heard him on the radio. We'll take a look at Kent Thomas in the 4X machine. Side-by-side view here as the 4X slowing up to make a pit stop here. The green flag pit stops underway. Our second round of green flag pit stops. We've been caution free. It's a 77 of Paul Brown leading the field. It looks like he's coming down pit lane. So Paul Brown making a pit stop here. That's going to give the race lead to Todd Robillard as we look at Kent Thomas on pit lane. Kent Thomas finishing up this pit stop. Coming back out on track as Todd Robillard in the 90 leading the field. Green flag pit stops underway. Robillard still has not made that second pit stop. Mark Vieta is in second. Vieta coming off the track to come down pit lane. So he said, hey, I'm ready to make a pit stop here in the 4 car. Giving up the second position. Robillard trying to work that calculator. Stay out a little bit longer. Maybe hope for a caution flag. Get some of these guys trapped a lap down. Robillard in the 90, down to the inside. We'll make some room here to come down pit lane. Gilmar Peixoto in the 3X machine. Oh, Gilmar tripping up the track. I don't think he knew the 90 car was coming down pit lane. 90 definitely announced it. I heard him. Peixoto smacking the wall. Almost gets into the back of Todd Robillard. Evasive move, and Robillard now on pit lane. You see John Stanley on pit lane. This is going to be interesting right here. Robillard coming into his pit stall and Stanley came out. We were blocked by the tower. What in the hell is up with that camera angle? As I would suggest to you now, Paul Brown will reclaim the race lead here when it's said and done. 2 rounds of green flag pit stops almost in the books. 77 has the race lead, 3.2 second lead over Claudio Bardelli Jr. We've been caution free. That speaks a lot. This is a tough track, and it speaks a lot of the quality of the driver you have here tonight. Caution-free at California. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91. Rolling up onto the back of Givaldo Spindola. Now, Givaldo in the 68 car is 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. A couple of great Brazilian friends here racing together, not for position. Givaldo is in the 68, and he is in that lucky dog position. No sense in him racing this 91 car hard. Look here as the 54 car makes a pass on Todd Robillard. As Robillard now finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Colombo makes that pass. Now with P3. Robillard now back to P4. So we saw this 54 car, he started up front, and he has been up front all night long, but now after pit stops has fallen back to the 3rd position, about 8 seconds back, 8.5 seconds back here. He's got to play a little catch up. I'll tell you what, this guy's won a lot of races, this 54. And I would not count this guy out here before the night's over. You may see that 54 car, that mellow yellow sponsor machine in victory lane. Talk about another guy who's won a lot of races, Arca Vieira in this 4 car. NASCAR BR sponsor machine now battling Thiago Gomez. Gomez having a great night here, running in the 6th position as Vieto takes over P5, getting by. Vieto, another one of those guys, quietly gets that car back up in front. Arch Vieto in the Ford car now in 5th position. Gomez going to tuck behind him, running in the 6th spot. What, man, Thiago Gomez's race program has really improved here, I think, this season. He has really gotten that car qualified well, gets the car up front, and is in contention. A lot of times, he sort of gets himself or gets caught up in some shenanigans and gets off pace here, but I think it's just a matter of time before we see that 9X machine in victory lane. Really do. And I've seen a lot of improvement in this series. In this 9X car. So keep your eye on Thiago Gomez. He has his car in the 6th position and solid. I tell you, he does not say a lot on the radio, and he's all business, and I've seen a lot of improvement out of this 9X machine this season. Tim Lansberg, John Stanley here battling for position. A couple Mustangs here down the front stretch. It's Tim Lansberg in the 82 getting by the 12. The Skyline Chili Ford Mustang now in the 9th position as John Stanley back in 10th. Good run here for Lansberg. He's going to need a caution flag, I think, to sort of get caught back up here with his front group. This has a green flag field here. We are halfway. It's been green. Take a look at those mid-race results here as Paul Brown the leader, Claudio Bardelli Jr. is 2nd, Robillard 3rd, Ed Palumbo is 4th, Arch Vieto 5th. Gomez, Moncasi, Furtado, Lansberg, and Stanley rounding out the top 10 halfway. Caution-free here at California. Take a look at this pass. Todd Robillard catching up to the 54 of Ed Palumbo. Now taking over the 3rd position is the 90. Robillard looking pretty solid here in that Freightliner sponsor machine. One of those Rhode Island drivers. Well, East Coast drivers there battling it out. Ed Palumbo from the great state of New York. Guys have raced a lot of laps together, man. It's almost like clockwork here. These guys know what each other's going to do, and they don't even really have to communicate there. When Robillard catches the 54, Ed Palumbo is going to let him go because he realizes he's running down. And that's just from experience. Not only just experience racing, but experience racing around each other as well. Take a look at that 68, Valdo Spindola here running in the 13th position. So he's had a little bit of challenge here on this 2nd run. Now in our 3rd run, he finds himself in the 13th position. 68 car, but he keeps plugging away. He is here each and every week. He races 3 nights, or 3 races a week with us. Again, one of our most loyal high octane racing league folks. Our great drivers from Brazil. Zach Moncasi kind of out there by himself right now, running in the 7th position. Got a little bit of work to do to catch up to P6. About 13-second gap there between E and the 6th position car. Thiago Gomez. These guys need a caution flag. I know that front group does not want to see that. And I'll tell you right now, speaking of that front group, this 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. has closed the gap on our race leader. Paul Brown is the leader, but that gap has narrowed. It's 2.1 seconds now. Take a look at this battle. 0.2, so Paul Brown may be saving a little bit of tires. 2.2-second gap now on Bardelli Jr. start to roll up on some lap traffic, maybe this may change the game a little bit and give Bardelli Jr. a chance to close the gap a little bit on Paul Brown. Thiago Gomez on pit lane here in the 9X machine. See 9X on pit lane. Third pit stop there for the 9X machine as Paul Brown in the 77 leading the field. Tony Furtado, after having a horrible start, started in the wrong gear, fell back, now finds himself in the 7th position. Just a little bit of patience. He is off sequence just a little bit as far as pit stops. He seems to be coming in just a little bit earlier than some of these other drivers. But nonetheless, gotta like that position. We'll take a look at this car here. What a paint scheme this is, huh? How about that? That's a nice looking scheme there. I wonder who painted that. That 9 car, Tony Furtado, the Valvoline sponsored machine. Good to see Tony Furtado back into racing, man. It's taking him a while, and he is indicating he's coming down pit lane too. So the 9 making a pit stop, taking him a little bit while to get up and running, but good to see Tony Furtado. This guy goes way back here in High Octane Racing League. I mean, he's one of those old guard racers. His brother Jack Furtado raced for many, many years at High Octane Racing League, got out of it, and now Tony is back. I found out something interesting about Tony last week. I did not know this, but Tony, his family is from the Azores, and he speaks fluent Portuguese. How about that, huh? And that comes in handy with our Brazilian drivers. You see Tony Furtado finishing up that pit stop. That was a fast one there for Furtado. Finishing up that pit stop. That'll come in handy. That speaking Portuguese will come in handy in really communicating with some of our Brazilian drivers. Of course, all those, they speak English fairly well. And because I don't speak Portuguese very well. I know how to say a few things like thanks and hello, basically, and good night, I guess. Greet the folks when they come in, but that's about it. And, Tony speaks fluent Portuguese, and something I did not know. I've known Tony for years. I mean, darn close to 20 years I've known Tony Furtado, and that's the first time I knew that. You see Tony finishing up his pit stop, back out on track as Paul Brown. And Tony, as I mentioned, is a little bit off sequence here. Paul Brown now closing in on that 12 John Stanley, trying to put him a lap down. John Stanley running in the 8th position, the last car on the lead lap, and he wants to stay on the lead lap. Getting Thomas into the wall here as we're seeing him have a little bit of trouble. He's down to the inside and down onto the apron. He got up into the wall. And Thomas in the 4X machine having some issues. Red Palumbo's on track here. He's on pit lane, this 54 car. Red Palumbo making a pit stop on the 54. Third round of pit stops underway. Paul Brown, I think he's coming down pit lane as well. We got pit stops underway here. Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Curious to see how this works out. Remember, there's about 2.5 seconds to separate the two of those guys. 4 pit stops. Robillard back to the race lead. He is in some traffic now. Now 68, Givaldo Spindola. We'll take a look at Bardelli Jr. as he finishes up his pit stop. Paul Brown finishes up his, coming off track. And Bardelli Jr. gets a little squirrely there. It's a little bit squirrely as he comes back out onto off pit lane around the apron. And that 91 car almost lost it. I think Paul Brown was sideways as well. All right, so 2.1. So Bardelli Jr. had a little bit better deal on that pit stop. Gained about half a second. Robillard in the 90s, off sequence just a little bit, been staying out a little bit later than these guys. I gotta be thinking, maybe he's working that calculator. Trying to figure out some strategy, maybe beat these guys on fuel mileage. He's been patient, he's been quiet on the radio. He is the race leader. That's these guys have either made a pit stop or on pit lane. Robillard in the 90 car, Rhode Island native, indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time by. So we got some strategy working out here. Furtado make an early pit stop. That's these guys sort of clumped together, and then Tom Robillard waiting to make those late pit stops. We're trying to catch a break here. Maybe working the math. And win this thing on fuel mileage as that Freightliner sponsor Camaro on pit lane. John Stanley is on pit lane as well. Robillard maybe trying to snooker these guys. That's Paul Brown, the leader. Back to the lead. John Stanley has a penalty. He's gotten caught speeding on pit lane. He's going to have to come back down pit lane. Oh my heavens, man. John Stanley had some damage from an earlier incident with the wall. He's been off pace here a little bit tonight, but now has to come back down pit lane. Got caught speeding. He's going to have to do a drive-through. Paul Brown, the leader. Bardelli Jr. now 1.7 seconds back, so he has closed the gap on Paul Brown. Now, Tim Lansberg is the first car one lap down, so he's in the lucky dog position here on lap 60. He wants to hold on to that spot, so if there is a caution flag, he's going to get the lucky dog. Not got too much incentive, I think, right now to race too hard. As Bardelli Jr. is continuing to run down Paul Brown, but I think Paul might be saving his tires. Paul Brown, the leader, 1.5 second gap now separating the two of those guys. We're looking at Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in the second position. Kent Thomas and Preston Hassel here battling. Kent Thomas in the 4X machine down to the inside, battling Preston Hassel in a 27 car. Kent Thomas picking up a spot, a couple Fords there battling each other. Thomas now up to the 11th position. Preston Hassel now back to 12. Preston has really talked about how this car is evil for him tonight. For some reason, this 27 not got the handling down here. Set up not to his liking. Gilmar Peixoto in the 3X machine finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. I think Paul Brown might be saving tires here. That leads back up to almost down 1.6 seconds. So he's starting to open up a gap there on Bardelli Jr. Saving those tires early in the run. Paul Brown, a lot of championship for him, a lot of race wins. Great at saving tires, great at figuring out, what he has to do to counter the strategies of these other drivers, whomever it may be. Knows how to adjust that car throughout the run. Play with that track bar a little bit, mess with that throttle a little bit. Change that driving line, change the braking points. He has it figured out. Right now, 1.6 second gap over our second place car. Lansberg there holding serve right now. He is running in the 9th position, 1 lap down. Take a look at Todd Robillard now in 3rd. 65 laps in, we have been caution-free. Palumbo now in the 4th position. Good, solid run for Ed Palumbo. Smell a yellow sponsor machine. 54 is in 4th position. Archibald back in the 5th spot in the 4 car. Running behind Kent Thomas. Now that is not for position. Kent Thomas hit the 4X up on the high side, going to let him go. That right there, that little move right there by Kent Thomas shows, a high racing IQ. He realizes the 4 car is on the lead lap. Now he's getting a little bit of a battle there, but he's going to let him go. I mean, he realizes that 4 car is faster, has caught him, and he's not going to push the issue. Now he does get by, but he raced him clean right there. To have a little fun with the 4 car up to the outside. You see him going down to the inside right there, giving that 4 car a lot of room. He realizes this is not for position. It's racing IQ. Guy's run a lot of laps, and you can tell he's one of our newer members here to HORL, and we're lucky to have him. But over from Happy Hour Racing League, those guys running on Mondays and Thursdays. Britt Owens' outfit at Happy Hour Racing League. So this is now, lead is continuing to grow here as the 77s continuing to open up that lead on Mardelli Jr. It's now 2 seconds. Nachman Casey here in the 29 picking up a spot as I think Thiago Gomez coming down pit lane. Nachman Casey up to the 6th position. Zach does some streaming from his cockpit there. It's called Zank Drives on Twitch. I think we'll try to talk to these guys, see if they mind if I just go ahead and link their live streams in the description of this race, because I don't know who's going to show up from one week to the next, but certainly would like to do that if we have something a little bit more consistent on some of these guys. I'll promote their broadcasts as well. Closing in on finishing out this race here, and Tony Furtado is indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. See John Stanley finishing up his pit stop here. This is real tight as John Stanley coming back out on track after serving that drive-through penalty. He's had a tough night. Tony Furtado here in the 9 car, hopefully going to make his last pit stop. Been off sequence here a little bit for these guys. He's making a pit stop now, going to go 1 lap down. Getting some word here that some of these guys might be able to make it to the end, and some of these other guys cannot make it to the end. This is shaping up to be, of course, a fuel mileage race, a fuel strategy race. And that means you better keep your eye on Todd Robillard. He is one of the best in the business with the fuel mileage situation. So keep your eye on this 90. Right now running in the third position. He is 11 seconds down to the race lead, but he has been off sequence as far as pit stops are concerned. Furtado finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track here in the 9 car. That might have been a 2-tire stop there. That was a quick pit stop out of the 9 car. And Palumbo, Artiviano here battling it out. This is for the 4th position. And Palumbo into 54 is in 4th. Artiviano 5th. So good battle here between a couple of cagey veterans. These guys have run a lot of laps around each other. Artiviano come out here and battling Ed Palumbo. Down to the inside. Vieta down the inside here is at 54. I think he's going to be coming down pit lane. So a couple of these guys maybe pitting together here. Palumbo coming off track down pit lane, and Vieta going to stay out. Maybe a safety call right there. You know, maybe doesn't want to get into the back of the 54. Zach McCase indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane next time by. 91, Bardelli Jr. on pit lane. Paul Brown on pit lane. This is going to be an interesting situation here. Robillard certainly does not have enough fuel to make it to the end. But this is going to be an interesting situation because we saw Bardelli Jr. a little bit better than Paul Brown on that last round of pit stops. Brown finishing up his pit stop. Bardelli Jr. coming out just behind him. That's closed up a little bit. Now how fast can they get around this apron of the track? Rejoin the racing surface off of turn 2. Robillard here in the 90. He might bump that fuel load down. Stay out a little bit here. Bump that fuel load down, do a 2-tire stop, and he might be able to win this and snooker these guys. Remember, he was running in the 3rd position before pit stops. Paul Brown comes back out in 3rd. Vieta on pit lane. Lansberg on pit lane. Caution free. 15 laps to go here at California. Fuel mileage race, pit strategy race. Caution free. Great clean racing here. Everybody's still in the race. Nobody out of it. Todd Robillard leading, but he is clicking off laps, but also Paul Brown closing in, 28 seconds down. Now you're getting into that territory where if you do make a pit stop, that may not be enough. There's a 90s hoping for a caution flag. A lot of rubber down on the track. This thing is slick, and the 90 car indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. So our race leader, Todd Robillard, Freightliner sponsor Camaro, peeling off the track to come down pit lane for his final pit stop. He's got a horrible pit stall for a camera angle. There's no good way to get that there. As you see Paul Brown going by now, capturing the lead. As Todd's still on pit lane, we were trying to get a good picture of him coming off. You see now Todd Robillard coming back out on track off the pit lane. So staying out there has not worked out in his favor. All round back to the lead. 2.8 second, almost 2.9 second lead on Claudio Bardelli Jr. Robillard comes back out, and he's 15 seconds down. He's playing that strategy a little bit. Colombo in fourth, Vieira is in fifth. .7-second gap separating P1, P2. Paul Brown out there really has been a pretty interesting night. He's kept that race that car up front. He had great battling with Bardelli Jr., Robillard, Colombo, Vieira. All those guys were up there racing together. Also Thiago Gomez as well. So those guys were all racing together there. But now Jomar Peixoto has a penalty. He's going to have to do a drive-through, speeding on pit lane for Jomar. And as the race went on, these pit stops helped separate Paul Brown from the rest of the field. Bardelli Jr. has held serve, but it looks like the later in the run, that's when Bardelli Jr. starts to fall off a little bit from the 77 car. I can tell you right now that Paul Brown does not want to see a caution flag. He wants this race to stay green. He's now rolling up on the back of the 27. Look at this battle here, late in the race battle here. This is for the 6th position. Thiago Gomez in the 9X. They're rolling up on Kent Thomas. Kent Thomas running in the 10th position. We got a battle for the 6th position just behind. Side by side there as Thiago Gomez in the 29 of Zach Casey battling it out. As Kent Thomas, a lap down car, he's trying to figure out where to go here as Gomez is stuck behind. And they're still side by side. Great battling there between Casey and the 9X of Thiago Gomez. Gomez using that high line, a little bit of run there on the outside. It gets by Zach Casey. Great little battle there. And Kent Thomas was in the thick of that, wasn't he? Mark Vieira and Ed Colombo here battling it out. Good late race battle here between the 4 and the 54. Mark Vieira in that 4 car. He's running in P5. Ed Colombo running in the 4th position. Good battle here. See the 3X coming back out on track after serving his drive-through penalty. Vieira down to the inside, battling side by side with the 54 car. Vieira inching ahead, now taking over the 4th position. Can he hold off that 54, clear him, and pull off this pass? And he does, so the 4 car now back up to the 4th position. Zeb Palumbo in 5th. Paul Brown continuing to open up that gap, 3.2 second gap on Bardelli Jr. Robillard is in 3rd. Vieira now 4th, Palumbo 5th. And Casey and Gomez still battling there as Casey now clears Gomez, gets around Gomez there as we'll take a look at that pass. Gomez gets stuck behind the Kent Thomas machine, and then Casey gets around. Thomas having to do a late race pit stop. Oh, my heavens, man. Not good for the 4X machine. He was way off sequence there. He has to come down pit lane. Late race pit stop for the 4X, Kent Thomas. That's Paul Brown trying to close out this race. Kent Thomas finishing up that pit stop, coming back out on track now. Now back in 13th position. 7 cars on the lead lap. Tim Lansberg in the lucky dog position in 8th. I don't think we're going to have a caution flag here. It's the 77 continuing to lead. 3.2 second gap over Claudio Bardelli Jr. Robillard third, Vieira fourth, Colombo rounding out the top 5. Thiago Gomez having to come down pit lane. Gomez making a late race pit stop. Some of these guys, maybe they got to do a little splash here. Late race pit stop for Thiago Gomez. He's now losing some positions. This is not when you want to have to pit unless everybody else has to. Furtado indicating he's got to come down pit lane here with 3 laps to go. Tony Furtado having to make a pit stop. Oh my heavens, man. Pit stop from Tony Furtado. As we cross the start and finish line with that 77 car, we'll have 2 laps to go. So the 99 taking some right side tires here. A little splash of fuel. I think he's way too long on pit lane. We got 2 laps to go now for the 77. Late race pit stop for that Valvoline sponsor number 9, Tony Furtado. 27 had to make a pit stop as well. Down the backstretch for the 77 car. Very interesting out. '90 car. Paul Brown here. 1 lap to go for the 77. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? Can he coast and win this race? Bardelli Jr. 4 seconds back. Not an issue there, but if he can make it to the end, maybe coast down that front stretch. Does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? Down the front stretch, the 77 car is going to lift this car across the finish line and get the race win. So it was a little bit of a fuel mileage race. So congratulations to Paul Brown on getting the win here at California. As we're in the wall here. Go to the other side. Let's fly the drone to the other side of the car. How about that? So the 77, Paul Brown getting the win here at California. Congratulations to Paul Brown. Caution free. Paul Brown gets the big win here at Cali. Congratulations to the 77 of Paul Brown. And that was an interesting race, really. Really was a fun race to watch. Very interesting the way that worked out. And the 77 gets the race win. Congratulations to him. We'll take a look at the finishing results. Great caution-free race. How about that, huh? We'll take a look at the final results. Paul Brown in the 77 gets the win. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91 finishes in second. Todd Robillard in the 90 finishes in the third position. Archie Vieira finishes in fourth. Ed Palumbo, good top 5 run for him in that 54 car. Zach Casey in the 29. How about that? Finishes in the sixth position. Tim Lansberg, seventh. Tiago Gomez battled there to hold on to that 9X car for the 8th position. Givaldo Spindle in the 68 battled there for the 9th spot. Tony Furtado finishes in 10th. Finishing in the 11th position is John Stanley in that 12 car. Preston Hassel finishes in the 12th spot in the 27. Kent Thomas in the 4X finishes in 13th. And Gilmar Peixoto in the 14th position in that 3X machine. So congratulations to Paul Brown on getting the win here at California. Good solid run for him, and it really came down to pit stops. And I guess he had a little bit more fuel than what I had suspected. Hearing him talk a little bit on the radio. We'll see if we can't get that 77 up into in victory lane here, or up in the booth with us. Get a chat with him. That was an interesting race, man. California, I would not have expected that to be a caution-free race, to be honest with you. Really did not expect that. I mean, this is a tough race. Tough racetrack, and especially when it gets rubbered in, it gets really, really slick. So, see if we can't get that 77 up here in victory lane. All right, once again, we're joined up here in the booth with Paul Brown. Interesting race, man. Congratulations on the win at California.
Thank you, Heath. That was a fun race. I can't believe we went that caution-free.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the post race, is that I'd expect some caution flags here at California. It really is a tough track, especially when it gets rubbered in, gets slick. And, you know, it seemed like pit stops, you were just a little bit either on par or maybe just a little bit behind Claudio Bardelli Jr., but it seemed like on the track you had the edge.
I didn't want to speed. That was the biggest thing about pit road, so I was taking it a little easy coming in. And but towards the end of every run, I was pulling away again, so it was give and take there. But yeah, no cautions at California. the harder of the two tracks versus Michigan to race. In Michigan, we had cautions galore, and this one, I don't get it. Great race though.
Yeah, and you know, lap traffic too really was not an issue. I mean, you had to navigate a little bit of lap traffic, but it seemed like everybody was pretty kind here tonight. And it was interesting to see how the pit stop shook out here. Some of those guys having to come down and do a late race pit stop. And you know, what was the fuel mileage for you?
I was getting 18, 19 per lap, 18 laps per tank, I should say. So yeah, right on par with what it was supposed to be.
Really, I think the best racing of the night was that first run you guys had. There were about 5 cars there, all vying for position. You guys raced probably 10, 15 laps there side by side.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That sure was. At that point, I had no idea who was going to win that thing. And I thought for sure Claudio was going was going to pull it off at the end. But I took 4 tires at last stop, and it just seemed to work for me.
It's a great example of, you got to get, each and every night here you come out, you have to have everything just right here. You got to have pit stops. You got to have a good run. You got to save tires. You got to be able to, jockey around in traffic, because these guys like a Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Ed Palumbo, Todd Robillard, Art de Vieira, these guys, man, they've got it figured out too, and you got to be one step ahead of them.
You do. Yep. You got to be perfect. Or more perfect than them even. So it's very hard to do, for sure.
Well, I tell you what, we got another interesting track coming your way, and I think it's one you wanted on the schedule, and that's Richmond. And a little bit different twist, but kind of a similar. It's almost like a small version of this track, I think. You get that D-shaped oval, and it's going to be a hard one, I think, to navigate through traffic. How do you feel about Richmond?
Yeah, Richmond's another one of those. I'm not going to be that strong beginning of the races, the beginning of the fuel runs, restarts and stuff. But as the race progresses and the tires start to wear, I seem to do really well. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, with 2 races to go, you got Richmond, which is, I think, a little bit of a crapshoot, and then you got Kansas. I think, for me, every time I feel like I get out in Kansas, it's just flat out, just balls to the wall for that 1.5 miles.
Yep, Kansas high line, just run the top and hold on tight.
Well, hey, congratulations. Another victory for the 77 crew, and always enjoy seeing that car in victory lane, and good luck to you next week at Richmond and the rest of the season.
Thank you, Heath.
I see 77 Paul Brown joining us up here in the booth, getting that Outlaw Racing Fuel sponsor machine back in victory lane. And tough to beat there. He's always thinking, always adjusting that car during the run, and then figure out what he needs to do here as far as when to pit, what to do on pit lane. And he indicated that he was being very conservative on pit lane here, making sure that he did not speed. And then also adjusting that race strategy, knowing that you're having these long green flag runs, which is something we really didn't expect necessarily at California. So good job to that 77 crew here tonight. And really hats off to all the guys here tonight on a fantastic race, being able to run this race caution-free here at Cali with a good 14-car field. So impressive run. Very fun doing the broadcast here tonight with these strategies playing out. I enjoyed it a lot. Well, we got some more racing headed your way. Talking about a different look here. We got that 5-turn short track at Phoenix. I think it's a 5-turn track. Now, you might not, but 140 laps at Phoenix come up in the Saturday Showdown Series, and that dog leg on the backstretch, I think, is almost another turn. It's race number 4 of the season, and this should be a good one, Mayor. 140 laps, Phoenix in the Showdown Series. It'll be live on TurnLeftTV at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's tomorrow, March the 12th. You do not want to miss it. So mark your calendars. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you get notification when that race is going live. And who knows who's going to win this one. This is going to be an interesting race, so you don't want to miss it. It'll be at Phoenix tomorrow, 2 p.m. right here on TurnLeftTV. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you're interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from, and also hosting your website or your online store. Choose EliteHostingUSA.com. Don't forget the Saturday Night Thunder headed your way tomorrow night. Beat the broadcaster night. The Saturday Night Thunder Cup Series, 140 laps from Phoenix. It's race number 6 of the season, and I'm going to be out there on the track, so if you want to take it out on me, come on out. I dare you. I want to say thank you so much for joining us here on Turn Left TV. Peace to everybody out there. Thanks so much for joining us. Please share my videos with all your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Get the subs out here, man. I want to see more people subscribe to this channel. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm going to go talk to the race winner and my fellows up there. We'll see you later. I am out of here.